It's the Opperman Report. And now, here is investigator Ed Opperman.
Okay, welcome to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, private investigator Ed Opperman. You can find me at Opperman Investigations and Digital Forensic Consulting through my website, emailrevealer.com, or just locate me at my email, oppermaninvestigations@gmail.com. If you like our show, be sure and check out the Opperman Report Patreon. All new content, Monday to Friday. Everything here Monday to Friday, AM/FM radio, you could find there with the ads and the commercials all cut out ad-free. So if you ever miss a show, it'll be up there for you. Plus all the old member section stuff we put up there. A lot of free content, too, as well, we put on Patreon. All the Trump indictments, the letter from Lev Parnas, Rudy Giuliani's former partner. We have that up there, too, outlining all the crimes Giuliani was behind, the Hunter Biden laptop, things like that. That's all at Opperman Report Patreon. Of course, you go to Spreaker.com. What do you call it? I do a live show every Friday night. There's a chat room. You get an email notification when we put up new content. I'm also playing all the May Brussels archives on Sunday mornings in cooperation with the May Brussels Project, and also to Casey Gain McGall. We play his shows to Reality Theory on Sunday mornings. And if you go there and just check out, just Google Lauren Boebert or David Wheeler, American Muckraker, firefools.com, any of those names in the title, you'll find our previous shows with our guest today, David B. Wheeler. You can check him out at WheelerNC.com or American Muckraker on Twitter there, or X. We couldn't even figure out what to call it before the show. But David Wheeler, are you there?
I'm here. Glad to be here, Ed. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great to have you back, man. Okay, so what's going on? Well, before we get into Lauren Boebert, there's a lawsuit, there's a contest, there's a world record we're working on, there's a personal ad you discovered, you released it the other day. What's going on in the life of David Wheeler?
Well, Ed, happy to announce that I decided to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm running for Commissioner of Insurance in North Carolina. It's a statewide elected office. And it's nonpartisan in nature, although the election is partisan. But once you're in there, you're not playing politics. Except the current guy, that's all he does. He plays politics. My opponent just approved another rate increase for insurance, between 9 and 16% increase for everybody in North Carolina starting December 1. So this guy, my opponent, I call him Rate Hike Mike, and I'm taking him on and hope to get elected and hold the line on insurance rates in North Carolina and make sure that the folks aren't getting ripped off by these insurance companies.
You know, I got to tell you, if you're in North Carolina, you have no idea how bad it can get, because down in Florida, I had my homeowner's insurance canceled. And now you have to buy insurance through the mortgage company, which is almost like double the price. So people in North Carolina, check out WheelerNorthCarolina.com. If you don't want to wind up like Florida, check out Mr. David B. Wheeler down there. Right? What's that office called again?
It's the Commissioner of Insurance. And there are only 12 states in the United States that actually elect an insurance commissioner, and North Carolina is one of them. And the election's in November of 2024, but I made this commitment to run back in March of this year, and the website's WheelerNC.com.
Excellent. WheelerNC.com for North Carolina. Okay, American Muckraker, man. So now what's going on? The last I heard, you had published because there was some discussion about the personal ad, the dating website, the sugar daddy website, and I saw you publish some pictures there. What's going on with that?
Well, back when all this started in, it seems like 100 years ago, but about a year ago, we started getting information about Boebert, and one of them was information about her being on a sugar daddy website, and I think anybody that's followed this story at all knows that we made that accusation along with a couple other things, that she was an unregistered paid escort in Colorado. And she came at us pretty hot and heavy after that and said that it was all false. She's never been on a sugar daddy website. Well, lo and behold, She has been. She's actually currently on a website called sugardaddyforme.com, and anybody can go there and look at it. Her mother created a profile, looks like several years ago, and in the process of our defamation lawsuit, we were able to subpoena the Sugar Daddy website for information about this account, and they have provided detailed information down to the IP address where her mother set up the account, all the information back and forth on that account, and in her mother's account, she's in a picture with her. Now, some critics have said, well, that's not her account. That's not the point. The point is, Lauren Boebert said she's never been on a Sugar Daddy website, and her mother put her on one. I'm not sure if it's a 2-for-1 deal. You get mama and daughter if you sign up for her Sugar Daddy account. But lo and behold, there's Lauren Boebert with her mama on this site. So I encourage everybody to, if you're interested, go check it out, sugardaddyforme.com/ the account that it's set up under is Southern Born 67. So it's SOUTHRNBRN 67. And if you go over to our Twitter account, you can see where that information is posted, and we're at American Muck, AmericanMuck on Twitter. So, that was news. That was news for us. And bear in mind that she went on a media rampage saying that, not only was I a liar, a cheater, and a sneak, but that she had never been on a Sugar Daddy website. There was no record of it anywhere, and that I had made that up. Well, Ms. Boebert, there are tapes, and we've got the pictures, and it's going to be part of our lawsuit.
Well, it's free advertising there for Southern Born 67, and maybe she'll find a Sugar Daddy. Doesn't she exclusively? Yeah. Doesn't she exclusively date wrestlers though?
I don't know. Her Stan Lane, who was a famous pro wrestler from the 80s and 90s, was accused of being Lauren's father, and recently they went through a paternity test fight over that, and the results were that he isn't. Oh. He is not her father. So she can't try and squeeze him out of some money any longer either.
Well, it's an honest mistake. You get behind the in the green room behind those wrestling events there. It's dark back there. It's hard to tell who you're dating at the time.
Exactly. I mean, think about this, Ed. This is pretty pathetic. Her mother not only includes her in a Sugar Daddy website, but then she tries to claim that Stan Lane, a wealthy guy who's actually from North Carolina originally, is the father of her daughter, and they fought it for about 15 years. And how pathetic is that? The mother knew that he wasn't the father, and she runs around trying to squeeze this guy out of some money. That's the Boeberts.
Very interesting too, because I've never seen a sugar baby type website that had you would have your offspring or your siblings on there with you, or your children on there with you. Have you seen that before?
Well, I'm not a purveyor of Sugar Daddy websites, but because I'm not a sugar daddy, that's for sure.
No sugar.
you gotta have the sugar to be a daddy, I guess. But no, I mean, looking through all the information that we have obviously scoured that website for additional information. No, I've never seen anything like that. The other thing that's weird is her daughter in that picture is very young.
Right.
I mean, she actually had a darker hair. I think she has lighter hair now. She doesn't have the extensions in. She doesn't have I think she had a face job or a nose job or something, and she hadn't had the nose job. So it's an interesting picture because her daughter looks extremely young, and it's not the Lauren Boebert made up, Casey DeSantis look that she has today.
Now, since, you've established it pretty thoroughly, you got the IP address, you went and subpoenaed the information, has there been an apology from any fact-checking organizations out there that say, oh, hey, we got this up? If we're in the business of checking facts, perhaps if you get something wrong, you come back and say, hey, we'd like to correct the facts?
Are you kidding?
Oh,
Come on,
no.
These guys are impervious. They're omnipotent. That's not their responsibility to correct the truth. I am going to reach out to Dan Dale at CNN and find out if he will run some sort of correction because, he hit me pretty hard a year ago. Well, it would have been it was a year ago in a pretty scathing review that I actually participated in. I mean, that's the one thing I learned is don't participate in their activities in the future because Boebert didn't participate 1 inch in the review of what we said about her, and Dan Dale went through, and I spent several hours on the phone with him reviewing information, and had I not done that, he wouldn't have had a story. But Dan Dale said that there was no record of her being on a sugar daddy website. Well, baloney, man, you gotta fess up to your mistake. And I told him at the time there was, but the lawyers didn't want us to share all this information because we didn't know where, if she was going to sue us, we weren't going to start putting out all the information we had. So we held it. But lo and behold, we've got the goods on her on a sugar daddy website. So I'm going to ask Dan Dale in an email, and I'll probably post it on our Twitter account for some sort of correction or corrected story or maybe a new story. So
yeah, one with facts. Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, with facts and pictures.
And now you mentioned this too. Now, when that did come out, that big, your big splash, out there, because you did such great work with Matty Hawthorne, exposing his true character, and then when you exposed Lauren Boebert. She declared she was going to file a lawsuit against you. Now, that lawsuit never took place, but you actually have filed a lawsuit against her.
Yeah. She spent the summer of last year claiming that she was going to file a multi-million-dollar defamation lawsuit against me personally, the organization, one of my other collaborators, and all of our donors. And it scared off donations. And affected me personally because this is how I make a living. And lo and behold, she never filed a darn thing. So in September of last year, I got together with the attorney and we reviewed the kind of financials and the damage she had done to us and filed a petition in Superior Court here in North Carolina. That judge ruled that jurisdiction and venue should be Colorado, and so we moved it out there and filed in federal court. And I think it was about 3 months ago. Yeah.
Now, isn't there some kind of announcement she's supposed to be replying to that shortly?
Yeah, on the 15th of August, her reply brief is due, or her response to our lawsuit is due at that point. In legal terms, they call it the answer. They need to answer our petition. We've been told by her counsel, that they're going to file a request for dismissal based upon First Amendment rights, that everything she said against us was First Amendment protected. And then she's going to move for anti-SLAPP petition, which then invokes the anti-SLAPP laws in Colorado, which is essentially to protect public figures and members of the media from frivolous lawsuits. So we'll see how far they get with that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with that. Which brings us to the next thing.